Hi, welcome to Box on the Box Soccer and Celluloid, Botbrack for short. I'm Edward Box. So this last week been celebrating 60 years of James Bond, 60 years since Doctor No. So now I'm going to rank the main Bond girls, Bond women, from 23 to number 1. Why is there not 25 of them? Because there's 25 Bond films. Well, one of them appears in 2 films. And the other one is M in Skyfall. So Judi Dench kind of functions as the Bond female in that film, but obviously not a love interest. Okay, so let's get straight to it. Coming in number 23, probably not a surprise to fans. My least favourite Bond girl is Mihama. I think that's how you pronounce it. Mihama Kissy Suzuki in You Only Live Twice. This character's just not really given anything to do. She comes into very late in the day. Prior to this, the character of Aki seems to be established as the Bond girl. Aki's really cool. She's got an amazing Toyota 2000 GT made especially for the film, the only one in existence. She's a cool character, working for Tiger, and then she actually becomes the sacrificial lamb. She gets poisoned by Spectre, and then Kissy is one of the girls in the village who helps Bond up to the volcano and so on, but she just isn't given anything to do, a character and so on, and it's just very forgettable. So number 23 choice. Number 22, I'm going for Stacey Sutton from A View to a Kill, played by Tanya Roberts. So this is a pattern that you'll see emerging here, is I'm not as into American Bond girls, Bond women. I just prefer the exotic European style of character, or English character, which is a bit unfair. Tanya Roberts, yeah, she's very much from TV background. She was in Charlie's Angels. Her acting's okay, but it's just she's just kind of not got the kind of right vibe. There's a lot of problems with View to Kill. The other problem with this is that Roger's clearly too old for playing the part. So yeah, they kind of made a Bond film for the sake of it. Really, they should have just stopped it for a bit. Okay, number 21, another American Bond girl entry, Denise Richards, Dr. Christmas Jones from The World Is Not Enough. I put the blame for this squarely at the producers. Casting Denise Richards, making her a nuclear scientist, calling her Dr. Christmas Jones, was just stupid. The age gap at this point between her and Brosnan is starting to look a bit sleazy. And just the character's just kind of stupid, really. Denise Richards, she's not the best actress. Apparently she had quite a hard time on the film. And again, I just quite squarely put the fault of the producers. They should have cast this better. Obviously she's coming back off the back of Starship Troopers and I Think Wild Things. So she had a kind of big kind of FHM type of following, but not a good piece of casting. Number 20, sorry, it's another American lady. It's Jinx, Halle Berry's character from Die Another Day. Again, the fault here isn't with Halle Berry. Halle Berry's a great actress. She won the Oscar for Monsters Ball. This seemed like really cool casting, but the problem was she ended up in Die Another Day, which was my second worst Bond film of all time. For a lot of people, it's the worst for many reasons. She's saddled with crap dialogue, and I don't know, just the character should work, it should work brilliantly, but the writing just completely undermines it. Halle Berry's really good actress, beautiful woman. She should have been one of the best Bond women ever, but it just wasn't to be because of the shit show that is Die Another Day. Number 19, my choice, and I think this is a real shame, because I think she's a really good actress and she's got that European exoticness that I love. It's Olga Kurylenko, Camille from Quantum of Solace. Again, the problem here is not Olga Kurylenko. I've seen her in other things before and since. She's really good. She worked with Terrence Malick. You don't get to work with Terrence Malick if you're a slouch as an actress. But basically, the Quantum of Solace, all the problems with the writing just comes out in the script. Camille's got quite an interesting backstory, but it's just not impossible to kind of flesh it out. The chemistry with her and James is okay, but obviously they don't sort of get together at the end because of the Vesper thing, which is cool in a way, but it's kind of breaking the Bond rules, I suppose, if we want to call them that. But I think the other issue is I think she's dressed. You know, the costume department hasn't done a great job of making, she's a beautiful woman, making her look really eye catching. You know, she starts off. She's got a lot of fake tan on. And she's got that orange top with those big gaudy sort of necklace baubles, the sort of thing Theresa May would wear. Later on, she gets to wear some nicer dresses and so on. But she's just not given the opportunity to kind of that dazzle as a Bond woman, Bond girl. And I think that's, it's a shame. I don't want to be shallow about it. It's just from Bond films we kind of expect that. So that's my number 19 choice. So number 18, now I'm kind of getting into a stage where the next batch of Bond girls, Bond women, I all like them. I like the characters enough. I like what they do enough for me to go, yeah, that Bond, that was a good addition. So my number 18 choice is Kerry Lowell, Pom Bouvier in License to Kill. Again, American, not as exotic for that reason, I guess, but she's really cool in the bar fight scene when she's got the shotgun. And when she starts off and she's the, CIA agent, when she has to kind of become Bond's assistant and then is caught in the kind of love triangle with Talisa Soto's character, it's less successful. Then she kind of gets back in on the action when she's, the scenes with Uncle Joe are really good, and then she's flying the plane at the end. So she's quite a modern, kick-ass character. I think, obviously, the Jinx character and other characters since, or that will come along, will owe quite a bit to the Pom Bouvier character. Obviously, she's got her lineage in the Anya Masavar character from The Spy Love Me, in that she's a female agent equal to Bond. Quite like it. Her number 17, Lois Charles, again, American Bond lady, playing Holly Goodhead, ridiculous name, but Holly's like a really, what's the word I'm looking for? Sophisticated character in a lot of ways. She's a scientist, she's trained with NASA, she's an agent. There's that great scene where Roger, finds all her kit, Fairly Dudley Diary. And I think Lois Charles is good. She's got pretty good chemistry with Roger. She's in from fairly early on, and she's right involved in the action, and obviously knows a lot about the Moonraker mission. So although she's never been, a top Bond woman for me, I've always kind of liked the character enough to go, yeah, it's solid. Solid casting. Okay, my next choice. So this is the weird one. If it's Léa Seydoux, I'll tell you that, Madeline Swan. If this was based on Spectre, she would be lower down. She would be in the kind of, in the 20s. I've never really got the chemistry between her and Daniel Craig's Bond. I've never bought into that this is the kind of third great love of James Bond's life, cinematically. And it just didn't, the whole Spectre thing where, she doesn't like him and then all of a sudden they're making love and, they're a couple. I just didn't buy into that. Obviously, it's better in No Time to Die. She's very good in the film. The scenes with her daughter are good, and I think she's really good in the climax, on the island. Obviously, Léa Seydoux is a really good actress. Blue's the warmest colour. She's great in that. She's beautiful. She's got that amazing alert on screen. Even in No Time to Die, I still don't get the chemistry. This is someone James Bond, went off with initially and would like to go off with. Obviously, we know what happens there. Has a child with, although he doesn't know that at the start. It's just, it hasn't got the snap of, his relationships with Vesper and Tracy. Okay, so I'm putting Léa at 16. Number 15, I'm going for Britt Ekland and Mary Goodnight. Okay, so this character's treated pretty patronisingly in the film. It's quite sexist, really. There's a bit where she's locked in a cupboard while Roger, has his way with Maud Adams. Roger's a bit of a dick in this film, really, even though I love him, he tries to break Andrea Sanders' arm, Maud Adams. He pushes the kid in the water. He's trying to sell a little elephant ornament, and he, he didn't treat Goodnight very well in this scene. But Britt Ekland's not the best actress, but I think in this she has a real good likeness, a touch, and a chemistry with Roger works really well. It's a light comic performance. Goodnight's likeable, and yeah, she got good chemistry with Roger. So not a great character or great performance, but a good 70s Bond lady. Britt Ekland's a real 70s sex symbol, so savvy casting. Next up, number 14. So the next few, could be interchangeable, but I'm putting 14. I'm putting Mariam Darbo, Cara Milov from The Living Daylights. This is a performance and character that's really grown on me over the years. Originally when I was younger, I wasn't as into her character as much, but as I've got older, I appreciate her innocence more, and appreciate her natural beauty. The way Cara's kind of she's not really kind of dolled up or glossy, come off the back of the Stacey Sutton character, and I think that really benefits from that. And I think it makes Dalton's romance with her believable. He's clearly quite protective of her. She's in the dark. She doesn't really know what's going on, but it's good that she's in the action right from the start, and she's a key sort of plot point, and him not shooting her character being there enables kind of Dalton to start, forming his Bond character early on. So there's that real benefit of the way her character's written, the way it's integrated in the plot. It kind of helps Dalton's Bond, which is, it's that's what you want really. Bond women to do is, if the casting's good, the character's good, it will make Bond better and make them better. And obviously I've always said, like in the opening scenes of Living Daylights, Timothy Dalton's really good. He really nails his Bond. Later on, it's less assured, due to kind of writing issues. But she gets in there in action at the end. I really like it. I really like the performance. So I'm putting Cara at 14. 13 is Carol Bouquet, Melina Havelock. So a really tough Bond woman. Bond girl, her family get assassinated. It's a really good scene. She's a really good actress. She was in Louis Buñuel's Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie, who won a Caesar. A chemistry with Roger's good. I think it's good that they don't have any romance till right at the end. It could have been really sleazy because the age gap by this point was 30 years, but one of the strengths of For Your Eyes Only is it actually plays up Roger's age a bit. And there's the scene with Lynn Holly Johnson where he refuses her come-ons, quite rightly so. What could have been a bit dodgy, it is dodgy really, but it doesn't look as bad. For Your Eyes Only's got problems, it's a bit drab, but I think the weird thing is with Roger's performance, I think it's his second best at The Spy Love Me, and I think the character Melina, I think they're better than the film in some ways, and I've always liked when I've watched the film subsequently, I think Melina Havelock's a really good character. It's great with a crossbow. And a different, up until that point, a different kind of Bond woman, more in on the action, not always dressed up, not dressed up for what I call a casino sort of look. Okay, number 12, I'm going for, this is quite a controversial character. My favourite American Bond woman is Tiffany Case, Jill St. John in Diamonds Are Forever. Jill St. John's got a different look. She's really sassy. I think Tiffany's funny. Again, she's right in at the start. She's key point to the plot with the diamond smuggling ring, and a chemistry with Sean Connery is really good. They're obviously having a really good time. Sean's having a blast. He shed 30 years to life. At the end, like Mary Goodnight, she ends up in a bikini. The character's kind of patronised and objectified too much, really, in the climax. And then there's the bit where she's got the cassette tape in the cheek of her bikini, sorry. But overall, I've always liked the Tiffany character. Some people don't like her, but I do think she's top. Next one, originally the first woman to appear in 2 Bond films, but it's different characters. It's Maud Adams as Octopussy. Now, I did say before, obviously, Timothy Dalton, if he's going to marry anyone, he should marry Cara. When his Bond quits, go back and find Cara to marry. And I think Roger should not have done A View to Kill. He should have gone off and married Octopussy, his Bond. There's a really good proper age appropriation in him. And by the time Maud Adams was in this, she was pushing 40, about 38. Roger's 55, so it looks more believable, not sleazy. She's really good. She's a really strong character. She's got a business, a smuggling ring, a circus. Maud Adams, I must say, the Andrea Sanders character in Man with the Golden Gun is one of the most beautiful Bond women ever. And more I'm still in an Octopussy, although I prefer the Man with the Golden Gun. But she's really good. I think Octopussy's underrated film. I think it gets a lot of shit because this sit bit with the tiger and so on, and there's a lot of stun dubbing for Roger. But it's actually got a really good cast. It's got a pretty good plot. I like the bit where he dresses up as a clown. So I've always had a soft spot for it, and I like Maud Adams. So now we're into the top 10. So number 10, I'm going for Claudine Auger. Domino in Thunderball. Again, really beautiful. Lots of lovely scenes in wet hair. Always nice in a Bond film. Bikinis. Yes or no? Sorry, shallow. But I like a character. There's a good. Again, it's that plot, like The Living Daylights, where information's been kept from her character, and Bond's kind of using her, but. The bit where he reveals what's happened to her brother's a really good scene, and quite rightly, it's pretty cool when she kills Largo at the end. It's good they meet as well when they're diving. I think that's really cool. He rescues her in a way. So I've always liked Domino. She kind of gets forgotten about because she's coming off the back of 3 very strong Bond and better films in a way. Although I suppose I prefer Thunderball to Dr. No. But she's really good. Check out Twitch of the Deafener, the Mario Bava film. She's in that as well. Okay, number 9, Wei Lin, Michelle Yeoh. So again, really, really good casting. Someone who's close to Brosnan in age. This is the, Brosnan should maybe certainly think about marrying Wei Lin when his Bond quit. Really good in the action scenes. Obviously, she gets a couple of kind of Hong Kong style scenes. And it's a really good springboard for a career. Crouching Tiger, Star Trek Discovery. She's great in Crazy Rich Asians, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Really good. And again, that agent, the equal of Bond. Going back to the Spy Love Me plot. So yeah, really good. Number 8, Barbara Bach, Anya Massavar. Okay, so this is a Bond character that's grown on me when. 10 years ago, I kind of found her acting a bit weak, and I tended to prefer Living Like Diamond with a Golden Gun. But as I've gone on, I've kind of come round to the general feeling is Spy Loves Me. I've always thought it was a classic, but it's an all-time classic. It's Roger's best performance of Bond, and Barbara Bach is a big part of that. There's really good chemistry. The fact that she's the equal agent of him trying to dress sort of 70s and the sexism of the Bond films. And she gets some really cool scenes. I really like the scene where one of my favourite Roger scenes is where she interrogates him sort of about the death of her lover, and he sort of says, we both know in this business, and then she says, when his mission's over, I'm going to kill you, and then there's that little bit of tension at the end. Very good. Barbara Bach, Mrs. Ringo Starr. Number 7, again, I'm really, not forgotten about as much, but obviously coming off the back of Ursula Andress, but really, really cool Bond girl is Daniela Bianchi, Tatiana Romanoff, sorry, in From Russia with Love. So her character chemistry with Sean's really good. The plot works well. She's a really likeable character. The scenes with Rose are clever, excellent. It's great that she gets to shoot her at the end. And she gets that great line. But also, sorry, I've lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. I was going to make a point. Also, that's what I was going to say. She's her scene with Sean about when they first meet about her lips being too small, no, they're just right size. Of course, that's the audition scene that every wannabe Bond has to do, and so that makes her place in Bond history very important. Okay, number 6. Now this is the Bond woman. I think she's every inch Bond woman that Sean Connery's Bond should marry, because she'd just take no shit. Like, if he came in from golf, and was not doing his fair share around the house, she'd fucking tell him to pull his fucking finger out. So it's Pussy Galore, Honor Blackman. Honor Blackman was always destined to be a Bond woman, I think, with a Kathy character from the Avengers. When she's cast, actually quite a bit older, more age appropriate, actually older than Sean. She's not as yeah, she's a beautiful woman, but she's not as beautiful in a lot of ways, say, as Ursula Andress or Daniel Banks she's came before. But she's got a maturity that's going to be attractive, very attractive to, an experienced male like Sean's Bond. And it's good they don't, your charms won't work on me, Mr. Bond. But yeah, really good. Obviously, in the greatest Bond film of all time, and it wouldn't be the best Bond film if it didn't have one of the best Bond women, and it doesn't. Two awesome villains, and Sean, and so on. So my number 6 choice is Pussy Galore, Honor Blackman. Number 5, perhaps the most iconic of all Bond women. The amazing image of her coming out of the sea, of course, is Ursula Andress, Honey Child Rider. She'd be higher up if Honey was in from near the start of the film, and maybe we got to know her character more. I mean, what Ursula Andress brings and what the character functions, it establishes that amazing exoticism of Bond girls, women. You've got to imagine, say you live in a northern industrial town and you haven't travelled very far, and you go to the pictures. It's 1962, and you see the images of Jamaica and Ursula Andress's character. You would just it just blow your mind that kind of world, that the world can kind of look beyond your world, can look like that. I love a little story about how she poisoned the guy, and very good, amazing costume design. She's dubbed, of course, in the film, but Ursula Andress, responsible for the not only iconic Bond moments, but very iconic film scene. Number 4 is one of my, so just a personal favourite. This, you could argue the character's maybe not written as maybe a bit immature, but I've always loved Jane Seymour. I love the costume design for Solitaire and Live and Let Die. She doesn't get treated great, obviously, by Kananga, and Roger's pretty dodgy with his card trick. He's getting a lot of trouble for that now. She had a good career, Jane Seymour. She's in Sinbad and the Tie. She had a good TV career. She was in a film with De Niro recently. So she was more than just a great beauty. She had chops, and it's quite short of stature. And it's quite interesting, actually. Roger, kind of towers over her. Solitaire, just a lovely, exotic, again, Bond woman, brilliant. My number 3 choice might surprise people, but after analysis, I think this character, this actress, really deserves to be up high. There was a lot riding on this Bond film after a 6-year gap, and they needed to get the casting of the female characters right in that era, and they did. Casting, obviously, Famke Janssen as Xenia Onatopp, who's brilliant in it, has had a great career, and Isabella Scorupco as Natalia Simonova. Really like this character. I like the way she's just like, she's got a job at the Golden Eye and she's dressed in typical work gear. Then there's that sort of vulnerable scene where she's escaping, which is really good. And then she's kind of part of the story, part of the action. She meets Bond. She's got great chemistry with Brosnan. And she's got like a really good scene on the beach with him, and that's probably the one scene where she's kind of dressed a bit more glamorous, a bit more typically Bond. But other than that, like when they go to the Golden Eye, the satellite dish, she's dressed in a camo gear and she's getting in on the action. Just really good. It's just a shame Isabella Scorupco didn't make more films. I think she's a really talented actress. She's in Reign of Fire, Vertical Limit. Great. Brosnan. Yeah, he would have gone off from Wei Lin, but I don't feel it worked out because of the jobs. He should marry, definitely marry Natalia. Okay, so we're down to number 2 and number 1. So you can guess who they are. The question is, who's got number 1? These are the 2 great loves of the cinematic James Bond's life. So who is going to make number 1? As soon as I tell you who's number 2 is, you'll know who number 1 is. My number 2 choice is Diana Rigg Tracy in On Her Majesty's Secret Service, the only woman to be Mrs. James Bond. They had to cast a great actress. Lazenby was inexperienced. They did that. I heard her referred to as Dame D recently. Sadly passed away recently, Diana Rigg. Great actress, great figure in English theatre, TV, film. Amazing, as Emma Peel. I mean, obviously being shallow here, Emma Peel's one of the most stunning women to ever grace the screen. Diana Rigg's stunning. She's stunning as Tracy, but I prefer Emma Peel look. But she's great. Gets on in the action. Really good scene. The scene in the barn's brilliant. And then also I love that scene where she rescues Bond of the stock car racing, the car chase. Really good. Mrs. James Bond, number 2, obviously Lazenby Be Married Her, quite right. So that's number 1, obviously it's Vesper Lynd Eva Green from Casino Royale. Really exotic looking lady, Eva Green, but different. She's got a different look, and that's the thing to entice James Bond. Always meeting beautiful women. So when they first meet, that chemistry between them, the meet cute, I suppose, on the train, as you call it, that's a rom-com term, is amazing. It's one of the, not only best scenes in James Bond, it's just a great scene in film, I think. Chemistry with Daniel's amazing. A character like when he kills the guy and then he sucks a thumb in the shower, it's really beautifully done. She gets, to wear lots of kind of costumes. She's got a business sort of look at the start. There's her exotic casino look. And then when he's in recuperation and they're just having fun and really good. And the death scene's really tragic. I was watching the film recently, and when, she dies at the end, her acting's superb, Eva Green. The way she emotes underwater, that final scene she falls back. She's brilliant. Obviously, Daniel, wanted and would have married her, but he didn't. But Madeline, no, Vesper Lynd is, his Bond girl. So that's my number 1. Remember, share and subscribe. Thanks for checking this out. And I'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye now.